Hello everyone, Infernal Firelord here, and we're talking about the Helminth system. So the Helminth is something you get from the sun in Deimos. I think it takes 12 or 24 hours to build, and it has a couple of resources. You have to be rank 3 with the Deimos family, the Intrati, in order to get it. So that's something to keep in mind. But once you get it, you build it, and then this thing appears in your ship. Hello. So anyway, let us explain everything that's going on, and as you can tell, my Helminth is leveling up and eating Nova. So, let us show you how it works. So the Helminth has a level system, kind of like most syndicates. However, as you level it up, unlike syndicates, it gives you special abilities or the ability to subsume more Warframes. Once you hit 10, you're unlimited. You can subsume as many Warframes as you want. Now, subsuming means you sacrifice a Warframe to it. And each Warframe sacrificed has one specific ability that you can place on any Warframe you want. So for Wisp, it's Brief Surge. Now, subsuming is one of the ways you do level up. As you subsume, it will gain experience. Feeding him resources will gain him experience, as well as putting one of these special abilities on another Warframe. However, something to keep in mind is you can only have one ability per configuration. So let me show you what I mean. So if you look here, if I put in, Roar, as you'll see, it's on my C slot. Warcry is on my B slot, and then A slot has Defy. So let's say I try to put my Elemental War from Chroma, because I want to get more health or armor on my A slot. Combining with Defy, that'll be a lot of armor I'll get. Well, that's what Squiggles does. He stabs them. But if you look, Defy's removed. You can only have one subsume ability on each slot, which kind of sucks but makes sense. It's a little thing we have to pay for. So now, as you can tell, subsuming has drained some of my resources, so let's go and feed my Helminth. So this is something you want to keep in mind when feeding your Helminth. 1, avoid Railjack resources. Railjack resources are stupidly expensive compared to others. Let me show you Asterite. Asterite is a rare Railjack resource, and it requires quite a bit. Who's the other one I'm thinking of? Hold on. Fresnels. Fresnels are relatively rare, and look, it's 1,000 for one. Coppernicks, they drop a decent bit on Lua, so 15,000 is okay, but it's still a lot, considering 4,400 hours of mission, and I only have 74,000. I mean, out of 15,000, if I subsume that, 5 times? That's 75,000. So I wouldn't even have enough for using Coppernicks 5 times if it's at max. So what does this green thing mean, by the way? Well, it's kind of like this. So if you look here, I'm at 69% for bile. So the resources are put into different categories: oxides, calc, biotics, synthetics, pheromones, and bile. They're all used for different things, for subsuming abilities onto Warframes and so forth. So these little symbols pretty much mean how much it will fill up your Helminth if you feed it. So if you look at cryotic, it'll go from 69% to 81.1% because it's a red, not fully filled symbol. But if I go to green that's fully filled, that gives me 30%. So that is something to keep in mind. When feeding, you want to try to go to resources that either you have a ton of so you can deal with the low amount you have, or go to, say, something that you have a ton of but don't really want to worry. So for me, Thermal Sludge I have a ton of, but it's not really something I want to do. But that is a good thing to keep in mind. You can cancel before you feed him. So if you decide to, that's not something I can afford, but say that is, or this is, you can do it. Doing a neutral resource is far better than doing a red. So try to look for the resources he's either neutral with or okay with. And at that point, you're good. It is a little annoying dealing with this at times, but you'll be okay. I believe in you. So I'm just going to feed him all this, and he's finally full. So now, how often can you subsume a Warframe? Well, subsumption can only happen once every 24 hours. And as you can tell right now, I am subsuming Nova. There's my little Nova. Now you can rush for Platinum if you so choose. I would suggest not, just wait. But thankfully they have added a list. So if you go past the subsumption, the whole subsuming thing, it will show you what Warframes you have not subsumed and abilities are not available. So that way you can kind of see, okay, I need this. And it also shows you what ability a set is in. Now something to keep in mind, you can only replace one ability with a specific ability. So say you want to take Roar and put it on multiple builds. You'll have to remove the ability and put it back on. But you cannot put it on, replace two abilities on two different slots. It's only one ability you can replace it with. So it's something to keep in mind. So I have it for C. If I try to remove it and then infuse ability, it won't let me choose multiple. You can only choose one ability. And it can only be an ability that's not subsumed. So I'll go put it back on my C slot since that's where I had it. But let me show you one other thing to keep in mind with this whole subsumption process. So this is Zaku. This is one of the things I want to show you. So Zaku's one ability is an ability damage buff. So let us look at Roar. Infuse an A, B, and C. So let's remove that. And say we infuse it back. It will not let me use any other ability. They're all available. I have to use Zaku's one because it is a damage buff type of ability. So this means you can put damage buffs on Warframes unless they have a different damage buff. So in Zaku's case, I can only replace Roar on his 1. So it is something to keep in mind if you are trying to put, say, Roar on Rhino. You will only be able to replace Roar with his 1 with his 3, since his 3 is a damage buff. So you're better off just keeping his 3, because Rhino's Roar is not as good, I believe. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone. Take care all. Peace.